David Pritchard, owner of this establishment. His brother was murdered here. A man living in mortal fear of the house, and yet he chooses to return. I wonder why. I finally know a man. I could tell from the thousands of people who work for me, because she needed the $10,000 more than most. Isn't she pretty? It's time to start the party. You have until morning to survive the house on Haunted Hill.
Skeletons, ghouls, things that go bump in the night, and even ghosts.
What is he talking about?
No idea. He's finally lost it.
Come on, guys, ghosts are real.
In the 1959 classic film, The House on Haunted Hill, a group of seemingly complete strangers are invited to a party together.
The reward?
$10,000.
The risk?
We could tell you, but...
Then we'd have to kill him.
And what they all soon learn is that not everything is what it seems.
See, guys, I told you, ghosts are real.
The House on
Haunted Hill.
Book written by Shirley Jackson and adapted into film by William Castle.
Well, our guests are here. Are you ready yet?
I'm not going to the party.
A night-long ghost party was your idea, remember?
The party was my idea until you invited the guests. All of these strangers. Why none of our friends?
Friends? Do we really have any friends?
No, your jealousy took care of that.
I had a reason for inviting each guest. They all share one thing. They all need money. Now, let's see if they're brave enough to earn it.
And you call this a party?
Out of all of my wives, you are the least agreeable.
But still alive.
If only a man had grounds for divorce. The time will come, you slip up one of these days. You remember all the fun we had when you poisoned me.
Something you ate, the doctor said.
Yes, arsenic on the rocks. Annabelle, you'd do it again if you thought you could get away with it, wouldn't you?
Oh, now, Dark, what makes you think of that?
Something about you. You know, I hear that hanging is very uncomfortable, in case you get any more ideas. Don't let the ghosts say ghouls disturb you, darling.
Darling, the only ghoul in this house is you. Well, where is everybody? It isn't a very warm welcome, is it?
Only the ghosts are glad that we are here. Are we all strangers to each other?
I'm Nancy Schroeder, and I'm Nora Manning.
Is Frederick Lorne a friend of yours?
I've heard of him, but I've never met him. I work for one of his companies, but I've never seen him. It seems you're the only one who has.
Oh, I don't know him. All the details about running the house were done by mail.
He's quite wealthy, isn't he? And he's had 5 wives? 4, I think, so far. A $50,000 party for only 5 people is a little steep, even for a millionaire. Well, if I'm gonna haunt somebody, this would certainly be the house I'd do it in.
It is the only real haunted house in the world. Since it was built a century ago, 7 people, including my brother, were killed here. We found body parts all over the house. Funny thing is, the heads have never been found. You can hear them at night. They whisper to each other and then cry.
Good evening. I am your host, Frederick Lorne. Since we're all strangers to each other, I figured we could get acquainted.
The ghosts are already moving. That's a bad sign.
My wife will join us later. Remember, you are to stay here all night. The door to the outside looks like a vault. There's no electricity, no phone, and no one within miles. And no way to call for help.
Like a coffin.
Why did you bring us here?
Ghost now. I think we all wonder what we would do if we saw a ghost. And Mr. Pritchard here promises us genuine ghosts.
7 now. Maybe more before morning.
That's cheerful. Mr. Pritchard, why don't you take us on a tour of the house and let's see what happens.
Let's start with the cellar. belonged to Mr. Norton. One day his wife upset him, so he filled a vat of acid and threw her in. She was supposed to stay down, but the bones came up. A full skeleton. Be careful!
Is there still acid in there?
Yes, it destroys everything with hair and flesh. It just leaves the bones.
How did you get invited to this party? Mr. Lawrence said everyone get $10,000. He didn't say anything about being locked in. No. You believe in ghosts? I don't know. Well, I think you can spook yourself. Boy, I've never seen so many doors. Closet. Bottle. Does it go anywhere? Nancy?
You'll never leave this house.
Ah! There's a ghost! There's nothing in here. You don't believe me. How can I?
Are you looking for something?
Not exactly. I'm Nancy Schroeder.
You were with the young girl in the cellar. Why was she so upset?
Nora thought she saw a ghost, but I didn't see anything.
I wouldn't joke about anything else that happens here tonight.
Now, don't tell me you're taking all of this seriously.
Aren't you? If I need help tonight, can I count on you?
Look, what's going on here anyway?
There's no party. He's planning something. I wish I knew what it was. He has some odd reason for getting us here in this old, dreadful house.
Well, what can you get away with?
You know, of course, that I'm his fourth wife. The first one simply disappeared. The other two died. The doctors said they died of heart attacks. 2 girls in their 20s.
Has he hurt you?
He'd kill me if he could.
Annabelle, you're missing all the fun. No man almost fell in the fight. And Mr. Pritchard is practically delusional with his ghost theories. Don't you want to go and console him, like you do with most men? In your fashion, of course.
You're so clever, Frederick.
I lie awake at nights wondering why I married you. It was rather a mistake.
You didn't marry me, my dear. I married you. Unpleasant, but no mistake.
How enough.
For the last time, Frederick, I'm not going to your party.
And for the last time, it's not my party, but yours, and you are going. Are you ready, dear?
Yes. Damn you!
All you want is to be a lovely widow. Now, come downstairs, darling, so the party can really begin. It's almost time to start the party, dear. We're meeting downstairs.
All right, I'll be right there, Mr. Lawrence. No! No! Mr. Pritchard!
This is my wife. Dear, these are our guests. Nancy Schroeder, you know Mr. Pritchard, and where's Nora? Well, no matter. We have party gifts for you. Now, I suppose you all know how to use a gun. But in case you don't, you simply pull on the latch with your thumb and pull the trigger. You see, they're loaded.
Mr. Richard.
But these are no good against the dead.
Mr. Pritchard!
Only the living.
Mr. Pritchard! You said your sister-in-law killed a man and a woman. You said they never found the heads. Well, would you like to see one of those heads?
But there's nothing there.
But it was there. A woman's head.
Nobody believes.
Why does nobody believe me? What do you suppose she thought she saw?
This house is full of mysteries. Who knows?
Mr. Lawrence?
Damn you!
Suicide.
Oh no. Nance, please help me. Please save me. Nora, he choked me and he left me in that room. He thought I was dead. Who? Mr. Lauren. Are you sure about this? It was dark, but it must have been him. Mrs. Lauren is dead. said she committed suicide, but I think someone killed her.
So beautiful. So pretty. So cold. What are you doing here? Get out! Crowding fire! I have had enough of your spook talk! Get out of this room and don't come back!
Mr. Lauren tried to kill you, and he did kill his wife. There's gotta be a way out of this place, and I'm gonna find it and get the police before someone else gets hurt. Here, you take this and use it if you have to. If I find a way out, I'll come back for you.
Oh, you're supposed to be dead. Don't let him kill you. Like he killed me.
No! No! Nance!
Did you hear that?
The screaming.
You search downstairs, and I'll search up here. You can stop pretending now. It's almost over. The perfect crime.
Has Nora killed him yet?
Not yet, but she will.
Help me get out of this hanging harness. What's taking that girl so long?
The plan didn't really start to work until you appeared in the window. Just as we planned. You were amazing. Just the touch that finally drove her into complete hysteria.
It'll be worth all of the planning, my darling. Where's Nora now?
On her way to the cellar. So scared she'll shoot the first thing she sees. Frederick's on his way there too.
David, are you sure none of them will suspect us?
Of what? A hysterical girl accidentally shoots somebody. Who would suspect that we planned it out that way? No, we drove her into it.
What about Nora?
Well, Nora's sure Frederick murdered you. She thinks Frederick attacked her in the cellar. Not me. And now Nora's almost out of her mind with fear. I tell you, when he walks down there, she'll shoot him. No. When you hear the shot, go down to the cellar.
No!
What have I done? No!
Mr. Lord?
It's time to end this.
You're...
Goodbye, Mr. Pritchard!
David. David.
At last, you've got it all. Everything I have. Even my life. But you're not going to live to enjoy it. Come with me, Marjorie. Come with me. Good night, Mr. Pritchard. Good night, Annabelle. The crime you two planned was indeed perfect. Only the victim is alive, and the murderers are not. Thank God those party favors were filled with blanks. It's a pity you didn't know that while you were playing your game of murder, I was playing too. The death toll has risen from 7 to 9. Now to make it 11.